Welcome, everybody. This is Brian Johnson again with thestockmentor.com. Doing just a daily wrap-up video for you here. Usually do these on Mondays, but didn't get time yesterday, so I want to do one for you today, especially after the action that we saw. So in the Dow, you can see we have now broken up and over this blue line. That was my line. We've been following a beautiful bull flag, looking at a potential 1, 2, 3. This could have been a 4 to the downside. Now we're in a couple of different counts. Everybody will have their own. But I really I got to tell you now, after this bounce today, and I was saying it in some of my other videos that I had done previously, man, if they're going to do it, if the Bulls are going to do it, they need to make a move. They need to make a move now. Otherwise, I think this pullback's just going to get too deep. It's going to be too far, and it's going to be gone, baby, gone, I think, for the Bulls. And they really pulled it back hard today. Now, if you're an Elliotician, this looks maybe more corrective than it does impulsive or whatever it might be. Truth of the matter is, it looks good from a bull side. It just is what it is. We broke up and over this area. If you guys were short, this was a great time to take some profits over 12.5, and now the next mark to look to go long for you guys is 12.6. Now we're pretty extended in through here. We're not up too far. We are extended though. Would not be surprised after the hard push today to see maybe a little bit of a pullback or a sideways base type of a look. If that happens, I'm definitely still more in the bullish camp than I am the bearish camp in the bigger picture. Looking at the daily here, you can see us too holding the moving averages. The SPX had not been doing this. It was down below these, but the Russells and the Dow, or not the Russells, the NASDAQ and the NDX and the Dow had been holding these beautifully. Today we springboarded to the upside, back up and above all of this mess here, and closing up above 12,500 more importantly. So as I said, 12.6, the next area to be watching. Pretty good participation today, guys. Cannot be ignored. So 1, 2, 3. This looks like a 4 with a 5 yet to come. I'm going to build another case for that as we push forward as well. I'm still 60 bullish, 40 bearish here with what we saw today. NDX 60-minute also up and above 2380 and pushing up into the 2400 area. That'll be the next area to watch to the upper side here. You can see the little double bottom that was put in over the last few trading days and the spring to the upside. You draw some lines in here. This is a picture perfect bull flag. About as pretty as it gets, with a nice little run up and above some overhead resistance today. Gave for a nice entry, high base, and another push up yet at the end of the day. Just strong. And only, really kind of, we'll see where it opens up tomorrow. It didn't jump a whole lot, but Apple, of course, crushed earnings, so it's up like $1 million in the after hours, closing in on $400. If I could just go back to 2009 and the dip, Apple 80, 90, yeah, 400. Can't believe it. Very strong move by Apple. NASDAQ daily as well, showing us a very good, strong push to the upside. We already broke the highs here, and I don't know, but I'm sure there was a lot of talk about non-confirmation by the SPX and the Dow. You know what? Usually that just means they just haven't got there yet. The NASDAQ's usually pretty strong in that case. I'm really watching closely. This 2420 line, guys, you know it as well as I do. That's the woohoo, here go the bulls. You got to get bullish up over that line. Like a 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking like a 5 up. It just is what it is. NASDAQ on the weekly. This is a high base. Held the 50 week or 20 weeks so far very well. That 24-20 mark is it. It gets up and above that sometime this week, and I think we're off to the races. I'm going to take a small detour, and while we're looking at the NDX weekly, I'm going to show you the Apple weekly, which I've been following, and anyway, I've been following for a while. And here's the Apple weekly. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this whole move right here is an absolutely picture-perfect bull flag. And I have been struggling greatly with the fact that Apple has broken up and out of this bull flag and been there for about 2 weeks. The long in Apple was above 350, and then back above 360, 365 for the next push. But This is a beautiful bull flag. Apple broke up and out of it, has been out of it now for a couple of weeks, and I am really and have been really struggling with how to reconcile the bull flag look and the pop to the upside on Apple with the bull flag look and the potential pop to the upside with the rest of the markets. Now, the NASDAQ looks more like a high base, but the rest of the indices, let me show you this. Take a look at this chart. Remember what it looks like. Let's pull up the SPX, and we have right here the beginnings of a bull flag right here. So pops up and over about 1350, 1360 or so, and I'm just seeing kind of the same thing. This can also be found on the Russells as well, kind of that same bull flag looking deal here. It just is what it is. Anyway, so I've been really having a hard time struggling with that, the reconciling how we are not going to go to new highs when the Apple has looked very nice from a pop standpoint. So be watching this very closely. See if you can't get that up and over this area. That is your long. That is a long area right up there. SPX also breaking up and over 1320, which is a long area for me. And now next would be 1330. I'd be cautious with that. I'd watch that very closely. We did get and kind of fulfill very early these head and shoulder patterns that formed on the 60 minutes for basically all of the indices. But this one here, look at this. Move down, break, and hold. And hold, and hold, and hold. This is very bullish to me when I see this. This is always more bullish than anything. And without breaking back below here, we came right back into the 1300, 1305, which was my no-fly zone, and sprung from there. So huge move to the upside. Love to see a little bit of a pullback here and see what it's going to do once it gets there. But for the time being, this thing is looking, it looks strong to the bull side. Above 1330, back below, well, I don't even know really. I wouldn't even give a short entry at this point. To be quite honest, I'd be looking for a little bit of a pullback and looking for these 1310 to 1315 to hold on any kind of a pullback. I think that'll make a big difference. Here was the close below the moving averages with the huge spring to the upside today. Once again, anything sideways, anything kind of pulling back tomorrow by the time the close is, it's still more bullish than anything. 1, 2, 3, looking more like a 4. This was a very deep pullback. Very deep pullback. So be curious to see if this doesn't triangle out or something like that. But anyway, looking like a very good move, good start here for the bulls to get that thing back up and potentially above some of these upper areas. I want to be watching that closely. VIX as well, dropping down 8% today. Still above 19, but coming back into a lot of these lower support areas from a weekly standpoint too, putting in a red. We'll see what this looks like by the end of the week. That'll be very curious to me. But anyway, coming back into the more neutral zone on the VIX, and that is right around that 19. FAS also saw a nice spring up. It was a nice trade up and over 23, 23.25, somewhere up in there for a little bit of money. Still down quite a bit. Could just be a quick correction here. Watching these overhead areas, that'll be major for the banks to try to reclaim some of their bullishness again, if that's even possible for the banks. But anyway, they'll go up kicking and screaming if they have to, if the markets continue to rise. So you can see us hitting this lower support area, bouncing off of that. Not really much to glean from that. I don't really have much entries for you from that standpoint. FAZ, of course, falling down today and back into the 200-day moving average. Your next moves are below this area. Really below 46 is the next area for me if I'm going to get short any one of these. Especially if you want to get in and hold for any length of time, you got to wait till it breaks these. Otherwise, it's day trading on some, which are of course great vehicles to day trade because they move so quickly. But not much to give you there. Potentially setting up, this inverse head and shoulder pattern. Maybe we're still working on it. So there are still obviously good bear options out there. But I'll tell you, this break of some of these areas here definitely have to be respected for the time being. This one way back when, and now today, again with the break above this blue line here, just a beautiful bull flag that was broke to the upside here, making for some good trading. So on any pullback, maybe as deep as this blue line for a retrace, But you'll want to watch this very closely over the next 2 days to see what kind of action the bears come back with. And if they don't get aggressive, oh boy, we could be seeing higher prices. We could be seeing new highs put in, uh, maybe by the time August is even done with. So keep that in mind, and I'll be back with you again here later on in the week with another video. Bye.